Do you ever feel like no matter how much you grow or achieve, there's something about you that's still wrong or unclean? Shame is different from guilt. Guilt says, I did something wrong. Shame says, I am something wrong. Hello everyone, welcome back to Beloved. I am Cherise Rochelle, and today we are confronting one of the heaviest emotional burdens that we carry, shame. And we'll talk about how God doesn't just forgive your sin, He restores your sense of worth. Where does shame come from? Shame often begins in moments where love was withdrawn, not because of what you did, but because of who you were. Maybe you were told your emotions were too much. Maybe you were punished or rejected for simply expressing yourself. If you had a father figure who criticized you or made you feel like your needs were a burden, you may have learned, if I want love, I have to hide who I really am. Over time, that lie morphs into a core belief, I am unworthy. And once that root takes hold, shame shows up everywhere, in relationships, in the way you handle mistakes, and even in how you approach God. Let's look at a few signs that might show up if you are carrying shame. You feel the need to be perfect just to feel accepted. You constantly apologize for your presence, thoughts, or needs. You hide your story or pain out of fear of judgment. You believe that you are disqualified from love, leadership, or healing. You use shame-based language. I'm so stupid. I'm a mess. I can't get it right. And the inner narrative here, if people knew the real me, they would walk away. But what does the Bible have to say about shame and redemption? 1. God doesn't just forgive. He covers and restores. Those who look to Him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. That is taken from Psalm chapter 34, verse 5. Shame is not your destiny. Radiance is. 2. God speaks directly to your who, not just your what. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. That is taken from Romans chapter 8, verse 1. In Christ, your identity is not damaged, it is redeemed. And 3, God restores what shame tried to destroy. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. That is taken from Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7. God promises not only to remove shame, but to replace it with honor. Let's look at what it takes to heal from shame. Firstly, name it. Shame thrives in secrecy. Healing starts with naming what you've carried and where it comes from. Refuse agreement with the lie. When you hear, I'm broken, replace it with, I may have been hurt, but I am not beyond healing. I am being made new. Let God reparent the parts that hide. Shame often silences the younger, more vulnerable parts of you. Invite God into those moments. Let Him speak what your earthly father didn't. Step out of hiding. Safe people, safe spaces. Shame loses power every time you tell your story without fear of rejection. The affirmation that I would like to leave you with today, I am not what I've done or what I've been through. I am not too broken to be loved. In Christ, I am made whole. And we are going to close on this verse. He lifted me up out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. And that is taken from Psalm chapter 40, verse 2. If shame has whispered that you are unworthy, I want to gently remind you there is no condemnation in Christ, there is no disqualification, and there is no brokenness that God cannot heal. If this episode spoke to your story and you're looking for personal support, feel free to reach out to me for a free discovery call at belovedcherise@gmail.com, or feel free to schedule a one-to-one session if you know that that's what you're ready for. And all of the information and the details will be in the description below. Next time on Beloved, we will begin talking about fear of abandonment, the ache of waiting to be left and how God redefines what it means to be held. But for now, this has been Beloved with Cherise Rochelle, where faith meets healing and you are reminded of just how deeply loved you are. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, wrapped in grace, and never forget you are beloved.